Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the second video of the night. Three middle-aged dudes just bullshitting about nothing going on our Geek Week in Review. This is the Reverend.
This is the theme here.
And Gray Mouse 1.
And we are actually going to revisit an old topic from last week. Earlier last week, there was a rumor made by, that was published on Kotaku through the guys over there at Eurogamer.net about Sony putting out a brand new PlayStation 4.5. That's what they dubbed it. Where basically it was going to be a dedicated 4K gaming console that was going to be kind of like a mid-generation refresh of the hardware, and not just one where it was like they're making things smaller and sleeker and cheaper to go ahead and produce, because that's just how a lot of the generations happen to go whenever they do their hardware refreshes. So far, Eurogamer has actually talked to a lot of other folks. They've confirmed through multiple sources that there is indeed a PlayStation prototype out there based on 4K gaming. In fact, the prototype itself is called the PlayStation 4K.
I hope that prototype is better than a fucking Coleco Chameleon.
No, it actually exists. The Chameleon doesn't exist.
What? Did they just put a PS3 in there? And then just...
Yeah, no, but this is actually, according to, from what they said, according to developers that they've had that have actually worked with the prototype. So,
will this one be backwards compatible with PS3 games?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, the PS4 is a backwards.
That would be the only thing that some people will actually be concerned for. I mean, for 4K gaming, well, I mean, for 4K TVs and shit like that, it's like, oh, God. They could have thought about this ahead of time.
Well, the problem with 4K gaming right now, and let's see here, there's a big, actually...
It's 4K gaming?
Well, the problem with 4K gaming right now is that it's really hardware intensive, all right? If you want to sit there, you actually want to play something that full 4K, full 60 frames per second or above, you're gonna be shelling out anywhere from $400 to $800 out for a dedicated set of cards to go ahead and do that. All right. Even in the PC world, all right, if you're trying to game in 4K, the problem with a lot of games that are out there that say that they're capable of being played in 4K, a lot of them aren't SLI or multi-video card compatible, okay? Which, for the techno junkies out there who are running multi-card setups on their PCs, that's leaving a lot of them out there pretty much, they're left out in the wind holding their dicks saying, why the fuck did I put this together? Work, goddamn you, work. All right.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, what am I supposed to do with this?
I'll beat your brains out with this.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
What's your input about this, Gray Mouse?
I have 4K gaming, graphics is not everything for me. It never has.
Graphics.
I mean, I don't care if it's in 1080, 70K, or 70p, or 900p. It don't matter to me. It really doesn't. But there are those out there that people care about this stuff.
Well, I can attest, now that I do have the really nice TV, I can attest that, yeah, there is a difference visually.
Hey, we watched that wax Super Bowl on that big TV.
Yeah.
TV's great. Super Bowl sucked.
Yep. Food was great.
Let's put that in the perspective. Let's put that in the perspective of gaming. Yeah. Oh yeah, the shit will look great, but if the games still suck.
Yeah. And the thing about 4K gaming, and I can attest to this firsthand, is that it's so freaking hardware intensive. It's a hog, all right? Because if you sit there and you think about it, all right, the jump from 480p to 1080p, all right, if you're just counting pixels, is like 18 times
right
the fucking data, okay? The jump from 480p to 4K is like over almost 2,000 times the amount of data that has to be pushed, okay? So there's a lot of things. The amount of horsepower that you need to push 4K gaming at full clip, 60 frames per second is absurd right now.
Oh, yeah.
It is really absurd. The thing with the PlayStation 4K is that you don't have anything that fits into that small fucking box that's going to sit there and give you, full feature dedicated 4K. All right, and that's one of the things that the article at Eurogamer goes ahead and covers. It says, hey, look, there are new processors that are out there. They can make smaller chips that are much more powerful, and that's available right now. AMD, they made out like bandits, providing customized chips to the first-party publishers. There's a reason why they went ahead and they signed up for Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo. All of them want customizable chips, AMD chips, all right? Part of it is that, you know what, NVIDIA, I see a lot of people out there, a lot of folks who are tech-savvy saying, so, well, why could they go ahead and use NVIDIA processors? It's because NVIDIA has a history of suing you as a first-party fucking developer, all right, if they're part of your fucking console. They almost tanked the Xbox launch, the original Xbox launch, because they didn't want the console to sell at $399. They wanted to sell at $699.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, there was a while there for actually a good 3 to 6 months before launch that a lot of retailers were like, we're not sure if we're actually going to get our Xboxes, because NVIDIA went ahead and actually decided to open suit against Microsoft. And
can you really tell the difference between a 900p and a 1080p and a 4K? I know you have to.
Yes.
I mean, I understand that there's more intricate details on the things that are presented up on the screen.
The game, and it depends on the fucking.
Yeah. Well, here's
because there are some TVs that are not capable to do 1080, especially the smaller TVs. Even though it may say you can render it, but it's the TV. Some TVs are technically still not fucking capable.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean, you know how much power it takes to push a 60 frames per second at 4K resolution? That just thinking about that, I mean, that's a lot of power there. It's got to be, it's not something that, you have to really high-end computer to do that.
Well, not only that, but it also matters on your on the size of the screen that you're watching and the distance that you're looking from. All right.
Well, anything under 46 inches, you can't render.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing.
The TV, the further away you have to be. A lot of people don't understand that shit.
Yeah. I mean, look, when I decided to go ahead and get a 4K TV, there was no possible way I was going to get anything smaller than 60 inches. Okay.
No doubt.
All right. When I first got my old TV, all right, my 1080p TV, there wasn't any possible way I was going to get anything smaller than 42. Okay. Yeah. That's just how it is. All right. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that the farther away you sit back from it, the less detail that you're going to be able to see, because that's just the nature of the human eye. All right. 4K is great if you've got a big enough display and you're sitting in a sweet spot. Then you could appreciate a lot of things. All right. But the one thing that kills me is that folks are sitting there, they're going out of their way, they're spending like exorbitant amounts of money for 4K fucking monitors that are 26 inches big. Are you fucking kidding me? Really? I understand you're going to be able to tell the difference because you're only sitting 24 inches away, but fuck, at a 26-inch fucking screen? Dude, really? 1080 or 1050 is fine. 1400p, all right, if you want to sit there and do something higher than that. But let's be realistic here, all right?
Realistic? In this day and age? Shit. You're asking way too much.
That's out the window.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing that I
throw it out the window, they think it can fly.
We just had Apple just held a product event a week ago, all right, and people were like, wait, they're making the iPhone smaller again. Why would they do that? And it was like, Dude, you're asking for a 4K retinal fucking display on a 4-inch screen. Are you just planning on having it burn fucking battery in less than 8 hours?
Yeah.
Expecting, you know?
iPhone, huh? Does the I stand for ISIS?
So the question I got here is to get back on topic. With the PlayStation 4K. So that again, they got to be real careful how they're doing this because again, they don't want to split their user base. I mean, are there going to be games that only come out for the PlayStation 4K versus?
I mentioned that last week, and it's like,
I mean, companies got to be really, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, they got to be really careful when they upgrade mid generation. I mean, because fanboys will still be all over it. Oh yeah, I'm not saying they won't be, but I just feel that it's really, I don't know, man. Sony just needs to be careful. That's all I gotta say. Because
trust me, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, they know damn well sheep will follow and they will empty their fucking wallets for it.
Well, they don't want to create. They don't want to create a situation where they start splitting their own market share. Okay, and that's exactly what happened with Sega back when they started doing add-ons for the Sega Genesis. Yeah.
Well, look at what the Nintendo DS and the 3DS is doing. Are there enough games for the new 3DS?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, no, I mean as far as taking over.
No, if you take into account all of the games that use the Circle Pad Pro add-on, now that it's built onto the new 3DS, yeah, there are lots of games that support that. Okay,
absolutely. But now, if you want to go the other way, like the new 3DS, I only know one game. Like I said last week, I only know one game that actually uses the new 3DS for is that the Xenogears Chronicles, which I own a copy of.
But yes, like I said, as far as the games that like I said, as far as the games that use the Circle Pad Pro, now you don't need that unsightly fucking add-on to your DS XL, your 3DS XL. All right, because the C stick is built into the actual system now. So yeah, there's a lot of games that support it. All right. Now as far as the other things that I thought that they were going to be able to do with it, unfortunately, I think a lot of those plans, as far as Nintendo's example, is kind of up in limbo, especially with the NX just around the corner. All right, which is another thing we can touch on in a little bit. All right, but the like I said last week, the difference between the PlayStation 4K and the new 3DS is that the new 3DS doesn't cost any more than the old 3DS. No. All right.
And as a matter of fact, they'll make the old 3DS cheaper.
Yep.
To compensate.
Yep. Usually by about $30 to $50. Mm-hmm. All right. I think a lot of the old 3DSs drop down.
Wait, for the PS 4K, is there a price set?
Let's see here. As far as
it's going to be more expensive just for the nature of the 4K. It really is.
Is it going to be the same shape, size? Is it going to be slimmer?
No. What's probably going to happen is that there's probably going to be a little bit of a form factor change.
Don't buy that shit at Walmart. They'll put a normal PS4 in there. Or some rocks. But what's really looking like what's looking to be the case with it is that you're going to have newer chipsets which are coming out from AMD, which are actually doing processors, video and GPUs and CPUs on a smaller die. Instead of 28 nanometers, I believe they're down to 14 and 16 nanometers. Mm-hmm. So they can theoretically do a processor that's half the size physically, but will output twice as much work.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah.
That's theoretically. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
The problem with that though is that when you're putting out twice as much work, regardless of the size, you're creating that much more heat. Okay. And if you have a small little box like the PlayStation 4, I mean, even for something bigger, like, I don't know, the original fucking Xbox, all right, something that big, you've got a lot of heat sitting there on the board right next to the power and everything, and that will burn shit up.
All you gotta do is have a good heat sink, and you're good to go.
Not really. Not really. That's the thing. You know, if you don't have enough space inside there for circulation to air to circulate around, having a big heat sink means that, okay, yeah, you've got that there, but it won't dissipate.
Well, see,
right?
the thing is, though, we knew this was coming, especially with the PlayStation. You know, go back to this PlayStation VR. The PlayStation VR pretty much opened that door that they're going to want 4K. I mean, that was, like we mentioned last week, that was definitely, we knew this was coming. So to me, I'm not surprised. It's something that I knew was coming, and now the only thing to look for is it going to be more expensive, and how are they going to split their
library
consumer base, you know?
Well, if they're not going to split their library up, let's say all the games for the regular PS4 will work on the PlayStation 4K.
Oh, it will. No.
If that happens, then motherfuckers will be returning their PS4s.
Well,
trading and making the PS4K.
Yeah.
Sony would be really stupid if the the PlayStation 4 games don't play on the PlayStation 4K.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean,
we're talking about a company, video game console company that's not a video game company.
No, I know. I mean, I don't.
That's not put. Yeah. What I'm saying is, let's not put it past them to do stupid shit.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I mean, there's a bunch of things that consumers.
Say it, Grandhouse.
No, that would be suicidal, dude. I mean, that would be.
Duh. But still, you can't put it past them to do dumb, stupid shit.
That would be suicidal, man.
No, and that's the reason why, you know, as consumers, we got to sit there and pay attention to this. All right, because the thing is that, you know,
not just get excited and just throw wallets and monies and credit cards to shit. No, you gotta look at all of this and make sure the shit makes sense before you spend your money.
But the thing too is the only people that would be buying this PlayStation 4K would be people with 4K TVs. I mean,
well, actually, you'd be surprised. People will get this before they get the 4K TV.
Yeah.
At times.
No, I understand.
There will be those people out there, or they're saving up for it right now. Christmas, and this is tax season still. Christmas, man, motherfuckers will money. And like I say, motherfuckers will go to certain places because they're going to be getting rid of old inventory to get the new stuff in, like old 4K TVs to get the new 4K TVs. That will be the time that people will actually get 4K TVs with a Sony PlayStation 4K. Or what if Sony? I mean, I don't think that anybody or Sony do this, but what if they include their TVs with the Sony PlayStation 4K? Maybe there'll be a freaking bundle like that with some type of speaker surround sound system for ultra rich.
You know, I mean,
it's funny that Best Buy, I remember a few years ago with the PlayStation 3 was selling Blu-ray home video packages where they were saying that, hey, look, if you buy this top-of-the-line fucking TV, we'll include or we'll go ahead and we'll give you a deal on a PS3 for like a highly discounted price. So we're gonna like knock like $100 or $150 off of it if you bought it along with a TV.
Another question: what about the Blu-ray player that's inside?
That's probably not going to change much. Yeah. All right, you're still going to have to go ahead and install everything. All right.
But what I'm saying, like I tried to touch on a little bit earlier, sorry to interrupt, this will be the perfect time. I'm not sure if they will do it because it'll probably be expensive as fuck to make this backwards compatible for PS3 games.
Yeah, you know, the silly thing about that is that, okay.
The architecture is different. They can't do it.
Understood. But this will remedy that shit.
Well, the problem is like what the Reverend was saying. I think they're not going to be smaller. I think they're going to be larger. I think they're going to have to change the whole aesthetics of the PlayStation 4 to add, just like Reverend was saying, even though the chip is small, but it's going to create a lot of heat that's on that board, sitting on that board all the time. They're going to have to compensate that with fans or heat sinks. So I think I think the PlayStation 4s are going to be larger instead of smaller.
It's funny because damn well the first 200,000 are going to be like broken down,
ready to death.
That's all theoretical if they go with a full power. Like I said, theoretically they can go ahead. They can make a chip half the size. It's twice as powerful. Okay, are they going to do that? If you're talking about cost efficiency and trying to keep this down under $500, no, they're not. Okay, what they're going to do is that they're going to go ahead. They're going to make them smaller, but instead of making them twice as powerful, they're going to go ahead and they're going to provide something that's a generation later in functionality. Okay, as far as what's inside there. All right, that way they're really kind of splitting the difference between price point, heat, and performance. All right, because it doesn't matter if it's the right price point. All right, if it returns to a point where the PS4 can be used as a fucking space heater like the original PlayStation 3, no, I don't want to fucking do that. All right, it's like it's gonna set my fucking wooden entertainment center on fire because
he said space heater.
No, those things could be used as space heaters. All right. Because they had two different fucking boards and all those chips running at the same time. Okay. Oh, yeah. And that was the one thing about the original PS3s. If you remember the original display kiosks for the PS3s, they used to be fully enclosed in fucking glass, right?
Yeah.
Where it was fully sealed and everything. All right. I remember working in, like I said, I remember seeing those at EV. I saw them. They were on, connected up to the TVs, and they would be on, and they were like that for about a week, and then afterwards, they weren't on anymore. You know why? Because they burned up inside the fucking display cases. Okay? Mm-hmm. It wasn't until Sony sent out brand new fucking kiosks with big-ass fucking vents cut in them, all right, that they actually started putting those things on again. Okay? Even then, they didn't run them for very fucking long because it would burn up.
Well, one thing, too, is like when the PlayStation 4 was launched, I mean, if you got the original, on launch day, people were complaining that they sounded like jet engines when it first came on.
Yeah, because they're trying to go ahead and fucking push that error in order to keep those components.
I mean, so I'm curious. I mean, like I said, this is not a full-blown 4K ordeal, but, they're just going to, I don't know, they're going to have to find a happy medium between the price, the heat sink, and, because, people are going to be running those things 24/7. They're going to be on all the time.
Here's my input with that, though. A happy medium with price, that's not going to happen because...
Oh, yeah, the chips cost money. Yeah. New technology costs money. It does.
Here's another thing, too. How long of a lifespan is the PS4 going to have? Is it only going to be for like 3 more years?
Well, that's what people were saying, that this generation here with Microsoft and Sony, it's only going to be about a 6-year. It's not going to be like the 7th generation.
It might be Microsoft's last.
Yeah. I mean, that way with PC, man. Jeez. Another topic.
We already said last week, all right, pretty much the one thing that we know that we know for sure that they want to go ahead and push, because this is the way that the market is going, is that they want to be able to push a competent 4K, or not even 4K, a competent virtual reality offering to everybody. Okay, like I said, the current PS4 doesn't have the fucking horsepower in order to push a competent 1080p 60 frames per second fucking VR offering. Okay,
don't you have to double that?
Sony has already went out of their way to admit that their offering, the PlayStation VR, isn't going to be the most capable in comparison to the Vive or Oculus. all right? But they can't sit there and sit on their laurels in order to just sit there and say, well, you know, if you want to settle with what sucks, which is the PSVR,
well, I mean, don't you have to push?
Shit.
Don't you have to push like 60 frames per second for both eyes? I mean, it's like
120.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It has to oscillate on and off. All right, so that's the reason why if it's only 60 frames, you could see this. You can see this happen if you're playing any of the games on fucking the 3DS. Actually, if you have Street Fighter 4 for the 3DS, don't have the 3D on, it runs at a full 60 fucking frames. All right, the moment you turn it on, it drops it down to 30, but that's because it's oscillating the two pictures back and forth.
Yeah.
All right, and that's what creates the 3D effect. Okay, so you've got this separation of two different images that are basically turning on and off really rapidly, and the way that your eye perceives it is, okay,
3D, yeah.
This has 3D depth, it has stereo depth, and it's moving at whatever fucking displayed frame rate. All right, which is 30. Once you go ahead and turn that on, because, like I said, if you want 60, you're not running 60 on your refresh rate. You've got to run 120 hertz. All right, 120 frames per second. And
it's just that the PlayStation 4 at this iteration of it, there's no way it could push something like that.
Well,
I even say even the PlayStation 4K, I really don't think it could. You know, you're going to probably have to wait until PlayStation 5 comes out or whatever.
Well, look, if they're only wanting to go ahead and do their VR at 1080p or even 900p, all right, the boosted hardware horsepower will help. Okay,
no doubt.
Because at least they're going to be able to sit there and run it closer to 60 frames. All right. Right now, basically, they've pretty much. Sony is pretty much, like I said, they've said that, hey, our offering isn't going to be as robust as the Vive or the Oculus Rift, okay? Now, they can either go ahead and sit on their laurels and say, like I said, they can sit there and say, hey, if you want to VR it on the PS4, you just do it knowing that it's going to be the worst fucking experience out of all the VR experiences out there.
But you know what?
They can attempt to remedy that.
But you know what? When it comes to stuff like that, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the gamers.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, regardless of how much how much advantages that the other ones have, if their games are not good, then they're not going to be up to par. If the PlayStation VR and the PlayStation 4K comes out with these great fucking games miraculously compared to all the others that are coming out, then it's not going to make a difference how powerful the other ones are.
Yeah.
Like, all right, this has better games, and that just has power. That's not shit.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that Sony has over everybody else, except for maybe PC as a platform, is that they've got access to more developers than any other platform. All right, that's just the truth. Okay, third parties love Sony. All right, they're not playing ball with Microsoft because, well, Microsoft doesn't have the numbers that they had before. Okay,
yeah.
They're not playing ball with Nintendo because guess what? Nintendo doesn't have the numbers like they had before. And
you got Microsoft issuing apologies for shit they shouldn't.
I mean, it's not even that, you know.
No, I just had to throw that in there.
Because the thing that chased off a lot of third-party publishers from Microsoft is the things that they didn't want to apologize for back in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I was just about to iterate with that too.
Yeah,
that they didn't apologize for, wanted to really fuck.
Apologizing for the wrong shit.
Yeah, the shit that didn't fuck with gamers, they're I'm sorry, but the shit that did fuck with gamers, just deal with it.
Just deal with it until they notice that nobody was buying their shit.
No, but that was my point. You know, the other video that I made about the social justice warriors. I was like, wait a minute. You got these motherfuckers that's not buying your games, and you're catering to them. But when it was the fact that you got motherfuckers that were gonna buy your shit, and you're just saying, "Oh fuck you, deal with it. Deal with the shit that we just gonna push in front of you." It's like, fuck. Do you understand who are your customers? Who's gonna benefit? Who's gonna buy your shit? it's just totally fucking backwards. But as far as the Sony PlayStation 4K,
I'm kind of wondering, are they going to expand they'll probably come out with terabyte hard drives, I'm pretty sure.
2 terabyte maybe, but look at what the Reverend said. Fans, the power that it's going to use, it's just going to, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can sit there, you can find 2 terabyte mobile drives and throw that in. You could also find, really expensive solid state drives in a 2.5 factor and throw those in. Now, do you want to go ahead and spend that much money on expanding the storage for PS4? That's up to you. Okay.
See, that's one of the meaningful things about this. The price, all of that shit together is going to just eat up bank accounts.
Well, what's really killing me now is like I said before, with the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, it is just having to load your games onto the hard drive. I understand it's faster that way, but you need to make a bigger hard drive. It's just, I think, and again, this is a whole conversation about digital media, and I mean, we've talked about this before, but I don't know, man. Personally, I don't like the way we're going, where we're going. I hope it, I like to have the physical media.
Hey, now, wait a minute. Physical media, damn it. I wish that people would wake up as far as that.
Physical media will always be king.
Well, the thing is,
I agree, but a lot of millennials don't think that way.
It's not even just millennials. It's just old guys who are running out with shelf space.
Well, that's the thing about certain people that want convenience as far as having less to deal with, but they don't understand that it will be more of a hindrance down the road. Yeah. I don't know. But for PlayStation 4K, I just hope that it's got to be cost efficient. It has to be cost effective. I don't think it's going to be. With all the shit that you're going to need, the TV, the new PlayStation 4, the games, the VR, all that shit's going to fucking add up. And at the end of the day, it's going to be if the games are good or not. People are like, it's going to be 50 games for it. I don't give a fuck. If those 50 games slurp, then they're not going to be fucking worth it. I don't give a damn. Look,
they say 50 games. They say 50 games, but maybe 5 of them will be good.
But here's another thing, too. The control will be wrong. Maybe the PlayStation VR won't be calibrated correctly. What the here's the thing about it. You're going to have that thing on. Why the fuck do I need a big-ass TV at that point? I'm wearing shit over my fucking head. This is where I'm seeing the shit. Why the fuck is a advanced
everybody else
necessary?
For everybody else not playing the game. They could watch you play the game on their...
Man, fuck that. That's like, okay, with the Wii U, you hack the touchpad, you turn that motherfucking TV off, and you can still fucking play it. Is the PlayStation VR going to be capable of that? Wait, I'm going to have my TV on in order to play this? Why?
Nobody knows. Yeah.
Actually, with the VR, if you're using the VR as a display, that's what you're going to be going ahead and using as navigation and everything. Okay?
Yeah.
That's going to be your heads-up display. If you do play it on an additional display for purpose of like video capture or like I said, if other people are there, then yeah, they can go ahead and they can watch what's going on.
But you're only going to be playing one-player games for the VR. I mean, okay, wait, for 2 players and 3 players, are you going to bring their own VR? Is it going to be split screen on the TV?
I got a question. How stupid would you look in a room full of people with you having that VR over your eyes and you're doing all this? I mean...
And now, wait a minute. I remember when I walked into friends playing the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game, and they looked like grown-up man-children because all 4 of these fuckers were standing. Just, and I'm watching them for 5 minutes, and I'm trying not to laugh, and I'm like, I understand. If they're having fun, looking stupid will not... Wait, what's this with the Wii?
Same thing.
Again, if you're having fun, that does not matter.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they were friends anyway, and your interest in doing the same shit. It's not like you're outside doing this.
Yep.
Oh,
And at that time, you shouldn't give a fuck about what anybody says about you anyway. You're having fun. That's it.
Like I said, like I always used to tell people, you know, if somebody's going to say something about it, that's one of those type of things that deserves the standard response, which is, are you fucking me?
Nope.
are you fucking me?
Are you
Hey,
helping
wait,
me?
you're not my wife. You're not my girl, whatever. You're not paying my bills.
If
You like to get the fuck out.
yeah, if the answer to that is no on both accounts, I don't
No.
even fuck what you're saying, really.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so with
with
this
that,
PlayStation 4.5, or I'm sorry, 4K.
4K now.
So they're asking, Sony again is asking for us to open up our wallets.
When are they not asking that?
Well, what gaming system is not asking that? But
you know,
it's just
Nintendo.
that I'm really surprised that to be honest with you, that Microsoft hasn't even said anything about upgrading their hardware. You know,
Because they're too busy apologizing to SJWs. That's why.
You're right about that.
yeah. I mean,
and,
it's
and and having AIs that's saying shit on Twitter.
That was hilarious. That's fun.
yeah. That was more apologies to SJWs. All right. With that, you know, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty much confirmed. There's going to be a new PlayStation 4 out called PlayStation 4K.
Might as well wait for the PS5.
Or in the meantime, at least keep your eyes on this particular channel. You know, in fact, do us even better. Hit subscribe below. Make comments. Upvote, downvote, whatever. We're here. We want some feedback. All right. Once
You
again,
want to know if you're going to buy it or not.
yeah. Or if it's something that, if it's even on your radar. All right.
Yeah.
You know, until then, you know, we're gonna make more videos. All right. With that, this is the Reverend.
This is the theme here.
And this is Gray Mouse 1.
Once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming. Credits.